This share is entitled An Overview of a Jewish Minhag. What is a Minhag? What is the custom? How does it work? So here's a little background on the phenomena of Neder, Minhag. And Neder is when I verbalize. I say, I take upon myself as a Neder to go ahead and exercise every morning at 5:30. I take upon myself to learn Havruta at this time, at that time. I'm going to go ahead and give this amount of money to tzedakah. That's a Neder from the Torah. That's the biblical version. What if I don't go in and I don't say anything? I just do something. I just abstain from something. So that's where we have what's called a neder drabanan, or we call a minhag. I go ahead and I stand for laning. Because some great rabbis like Rambam say you should stand for laning. So I do that. I go ahead and I fast. On the fourth day of Aseret Tshuva, I fast. I fast on some Gedai like everyone else. I fast on Yom Kippur, and I take one day, have another fast day for myself. And that's what I do. That's my practice. So I never verbalize it. So since I never verbalized it, I don't have a neder d'oraita, but I do have what's known as a minhag, a binding minhag that I took upon myself, a Kabbalah without verbalization. And according to most poskim, that is drabanan. Some Sofer may hold it's from the Torah, but most poskim say it is from the drabanan, the rabbis. And I'm bound by it. And I have to keep it. What happens if on this fast day that I accept upon myself, the fourth day of Aseret Tshuva, let's say, or during the 9 days, we're abstaining from meat and wine, I fast one of the days. And that helps me do tshuva and gives me sorus, and I fast. And it turns out that one time there's a Suda Mitzvah, there's a bris milah. I want to eat at that bris milah. So what happens? So according to the Shach, this is in Yoredei Reish Yud Dalet Seif Aleph. According to the Shach, if I knew when I started my minhag, my chumrah that I took upon myself, I knew that there's going to be days that I'm going to go ahead and fast. But there will be times that the simcha comes up, the bris milah comes up to do mitzvah. I have in mind implicitly that I'm not going to fast on such a day. And therefore, in my very minhag, my acceptance of my minhag, I know that it's not going to be on certain days. It's not always. It's most times. And therefore, I can eat on that day. The Shach says, also I can eat at that day at the bris milah. I can. However, he has different reason. And there'll be ramifications for the different reasoning. He says, I'm not breaking my minhag. I'm bound by my minhag of fasting on the fourth day of Aseret Tshuva, of fasting on the third day of the 9 days. And I'm still bound by it. Just this one time I'm not doing it. So there may be an argument in the Shach and the Yehuda whether, according to the Shach, only when I had in mind that I won't fast on a Brit Milah day, Suda Mitzvah day, but otherwise I'm locked into following it every single time. Well, the Yehuda says, no, I'm basically committed to the general idea of this minhag. But if something specific comes up, a one-time thing, I'm still locked into the minhag. Just this specific day, I'm not going to. There may be some ramifications, but we're going to explore in future shiurim. But just to summarize, midoraita, when I verbalize, that's the midoraita, the Torah neder. When I accept upon myself an action or an inaction, not to eat, to fast, that is a minhag midrabanan according to most poskim. And how can I go ahead and have a one-time miss? So that depends on the Shach and the Yehuda, how you learn the sugya. Shalom.